Tonight, in the last few quiet minutes before you fall asleep, your brain is about to make a decision about you. While you lie there in the dark, it will quietly sort through everything that happened today, and it will choose what to keep and what to throw away. A name, a face, a number, a word that was on the tip of your tongue at lunch. Some of it gets filed away and strengthened overnight, and some of it simply slips through your fingers and is gone by morning. And here is the part almost no one over 60 has ever been told. You have a say in that decision. There is one small, calm thing you can do in the last few minutes before sleep that tells your brain, in its own language, please keep this one. And researchers have found that when you do it, your memory for that material the next day is measurably stronger than if you had simply rolled over and closed your eyes. I am Dr. Robert Lane. For more than 21 years, I have worked in neurology, sitting with older men and women who came to me terrified that their minds were slipping away from them. They would tell me they walked into a room and forgot why. They lost a word in the middle of a sentence. They could not remember a grandchild's friend's name, and it frightened them to the bone. And so often, what they truly needed was not a pill. It was to understand how their own memory actually works, and one simple habit to work with it instead of against it. So, if you have ever felt that quiet fear, I want you to relax your shoulders and stay with me, because tonight I am going to teach you that habit, and you can use it this very evening. Before we go any further, if clear and honest explanations like this one are helpful to you, please take 1 second to like this video and to subscribe to the channel. It is a small thing for you, but it genuinely helps me reach more older adults who are lying awake at night worrying about their memory and who deserve to hear that there is something gentle and real they can do. Thank you. Now, let me tell you about a patient, because his story is the reason I teach this to nearly everyone who walks into my office. I will call him Walter. Walter was 73, a retired postman, and a proud man who had carried the same mail route for 30 years and known every name on it. When he came to see me, he was deeply shaken, because he had started forgetting the names of new people almost the instant he met them. His new neighbor, his granddaughter's husband, the nurse at his own doctor's office. He was convinced this was the beginning of the end of his mind. After we talked, and after I made sure there was nothing more serious going on, I gave Walter one small assignment. Each night, in bed, before he let himself drift off, he was to spend 2 or 3 quiet minutes gently going back over the 1 or 2 names he most wanted to remember, not straining, not worrying, just calmly bringing them to mind, picturing the face, saying the name softly in his thoughts, and telling himself, "This matters. I want to keep this." A few weeks later, Walter came back, and there was a lightness in him I had not seen before. The names were sticking, not all of them, not perfectly, but enough that he felt like himself again. He had not gotten a new brain. He had simply learned to speak to the one he had. At the one moment, it was listening most closely. So let me explain why this works, because once you understand what is happening inside your head while you sleep, this will make complete sense, and you will trust it. For a very long time, people believed that sleep was simply rest. The body switches off, the mind goes blank, and you wake up refreshed. We now know that this is almost the opposite of the truth. Your sleeping brain is not switched off at all. In many ways, it is harder at work at night than it is during the day. And one of the most important jobs it performs, hour after hour, is the work of sorting and saving your memories. Scientists call this memory consolidation. It is the process by which a fragile, fresh memory, the kind that is here one moment and gone the next, gets moved into deeper, sturdier, long-term storage, where it can last for years. Let me give you a picture for this, because pictures help. Think of your daytime memory as a desk. All day long, papers land on that desk. Every conversation, every name, every errand, every face. By evening, that desk is a cluttered, overflowing mess, papers stacked everywhere, and most of them will never be looked at again. Now, at night, while you sleep, a quiet, patient librarian comes into the room. This librarian's job is to go through that messy desk, page by page. Most of the papers, the unimportant ones, get swept into the bin. But a few, the ones that matter, get carefully carried back into the great filing cabinet of your long-term memory and placed in a proper drawer where you will be able to find them again. That librarian working through the night is your brain consolidating your memories. And the deepest, slowest stage of your sleep, what we call deep sleep or slow wave sleep, is when that librarian does most of the heavy lifting. Now here is the question that changes everything, and it is the question the researchers asked. How does the librarian decide which papers to save and which to throw away? If your brain is going to keep only a handful of today's memories, what makes it choose one over another? And this is where the science becomes genuinely useful to you and me. Researchers in Germany, led by scientists studying the memory function of sleep, ran a series of careful experiments. In one well-known study published in a respected neuroscience journal, they taught people new material, and then they told only some of them that they would be tested on it the next day. Everyone went to sleep, and in the morning, the people who had gone to bed expecting that this material would matter the next day remembered it significantly better than the people who had no reason to think it was important. The information was the same. The sleep was the same. The only difference was that one group's brains had been told, in effect, this is going to be needed tomorrow. Keep it. And their sleeping brains obeyed. Do you see how remarkable that is? Your brain does not save everything equally. It preferentially strengthens the memories it believes will be relevant to your future. It is as if you can leave a note for that nighttime librarian, slipped right on top of the desk, that says, of everything here, please make sure you save this one. The scientists found that this future relevant material was tied to the deep, slow brain waves of that slow wave sleep, the very stage where consolidation is strongest. In plain words, telling your brain that something matters right before you sleep helps your brain hold on to it through the night. Let me give you one more analogy, because I want this to truly land. Imagine you are about to take a long trip and you can only pack one small bag. You stand in front of all your belongings the night before you leave. Whatever you set out by the door, deliberately, on purpose, that is what travels with you in the morning. Everything else stays behind. The last few minutes before sleep are you standing in front of your day, choosing what to set by the door. The brain packs the bag overnight. You decide what goes in. And I want to be honest with you about something because I respect you too much to oversell this. The scientists who study sleep and memory are the first to say that this field is still young and that the brain holds many secrets we are only beginning to understand. Not every study agrees on every detail, and that is how good science is supposed to work. But the larger picture is steady and well supported. Sleep is when your memories are sorted and saved. Deep sleep does the heaviest work, and your brain leans toward keeping what it expects to need. So when I teach you this small habit, I am not promising you a miracle. I am handing you a gentle, sensible way to cooperate with a process your brain is already carrying out for you every single night, whether you help it or not. Why not help it? So now you understand the why. Let me show you exactly how to do this, step by simple step, because the whole point is that it is gentle and easy enough to do every single night. After you are in bed, lights off, comfortable, and you have let your body begin to settle, take just 2 or 3 minutes before you let yourself drift away to gently review the 1 or 2 things you most want to carry into tomorrow. Now, this is not studying. I want to be very clear about that because the wrong picture here will ruin it. You are not cramming. You are not quizzing yourself hard. You are not lying there straining and tensing. You are doing the opposite. You are calmly, softly bringing a few important things to mind, almost the way you would gently turn over a smooth stone in your hand. Here is how it might sound inside your head. Picture the new person you met today. See their face. Say their name to yourself slowly, 2 or 3 times, and then add the quiet thought, this is someone I want to remember. Or perhaps it is the time of an appointment tomorrow, or a single thing you must not forget to do, or a few lines of a poem or a passage you are trying to keep. Bring it gently to mind, hold it for a moment, and silently tell yourself, this one matters, keep this. then let it go, and let sleep come. That is the entire practice. 2 or 3 calm minutes, a handful of items, and the simple, deliberate message to your brain that these are the ones to save. Now let me tell you the common mistakes I see, so you can avoid them, because they are easy to make and they undo the whole thing. The first mistake is turning this into hard studying. If you lie there drilling yourself, quizzing yourself anxiously, gripping the material like you are afraid of failing a test, you will wind your mind up instead of winding it down, and you will struggle to fall asleep. Remember, the goal is calm and gentle, not effort and strain. A soft, slow review. Picture it, name it, and release it. The second mistake is trying to remember too much at once. Your nighttime librarian can only carry so many papers. The research suggests this overnight strengthening has real limits, so do not try to save your entire day. Choose 1, 2, perhaps 3 things at the very most. The fewer you choose, the more attention each one receives. A short list, deeply chosen, beats a long list every time. The third mistake is doing it with the lights on, your phone in your hand, or the television still going. The bright light from a screen and the stream of new information both work directly against the calm, sleepy state you are trying to enter. Do this review in the dark or in very low light after the screens are off. You want your brain quieting down, not waking back up. And the fourth mistake is expecting perfection overnight. You will not remember everything flawlessly the next morning, and that is completely normal and completely fine. This is not a magic trick. It is a gentle nudge that tilts the odds in your favor night after night. The benefit grows with repetition, the same way a small habit always does. Let me say a clear word about timing, because timing is part of why this works. The very best moment is the last thing before sleep. Not in the afternoon, not over dinner, but in those final minutes when you are already in bed and beginning to drift. That is when this review sits closest to the consolidation work your brain is about to do. So the message is freshest when the librarian arrives. If you do your review and then scroll your phone for half an hour, you have buried your note under a new pile of papers. So make this the genuine last thing. Review, then sleep. How often should you do it? Every night that you have something worth keeping, which for most of us is most nights. It takes only 2 or 3 minutes. You can fold it into a routine you already have, and I will show you exactly how in just a moment. Now, I always promise you honesty, so let me give you the safety part, because it matters and I will never skip it. This gentle mental review is safe for essentially everyone. There is nothing physical to strain, nothing to overdo. But I want to be careful and fair with you about a larger point. A calm pre-sleep review can help your everyday memory, and it is a wonderful, free habit. It is not a treatment for any disease, and it cannot cure or prevent dementia or Alzheimer's. So if you, or the people who love you, have noticed memory changes that are getting clearly worse over time, changes that interfere with your daily life, with managing money, with finding your way to familiar places, or with recognizing the people closest to you, please do not just rely on a bedtime habit. Make an appointment and see your own doctor. Many things that look like memory loss are caused by something treatable. Poor sleep itself, certain medications, thyroid problems, low vitamin B12, depression, and more. Your doctor can sort that out, and you deserve to have it properly checked. And please, never stop or change any medication on your own. Always do that together with your doctor. This habit is a gentle helper, not a substitute for care. Now let me give you the one trick that turns this from a nice idea into a habit that actually lasts. Because knowing something and doing it every night are two very different things. The secret, as always, is to attach the new thing to something you already do. You already lie down and put your head on the pillow every single night. So let your head touching the pillow become your signal. Pillow, then review. The moment you settle in, before anything else, you gently run through your 1 or 2 things to keep, and then you let yourself sleep. You are not adding a chore to your day. You are adding 2 quiet minutes to a moment that already exists. And here is a small bonus that stacks right on top and makes the whole thing stronger. In the morning, when you first wake up, before you get swept into the day, take just 30 seconds to gently call those same one or two things back to mind. See if they are there. This is not a stressful test. It is a soft check-in. And the simple act of pulling a memory back up the next morning, of using it, helps anchor it even more firmly. So you leave the note at night, your brain saves it through the dark, and you gently retrieve it in the morning. The evening review and the morning recall work together, far better than either one alone, and the whole thing costs you nothing but a few quiet minutes and a little attention. So let me bring this all together for you. While you sleep, your brain works like a patient librarian, sorting through the cluttered desk of your day, throwing most of it away, and carefully filing the few things that matter into long-term storage. That sorting happens most powerfully in your deep, slow-wave sleep. And your brain decides what to save partly by what it believes will be relevant to your future. So in the last calm minutes before you fall asleep, you gently bring to mind the one or two things you most want to keep. You picture them, you name them softly, and you tell yourself, this one matters, keep this. Then you let sleep do the work. In the morning, you take 30 seconds to call them back. Keep it short, keep it calm, do it in the dark, and do it the very last thing before sleep. It costs you nothing. It asks almost nothing of you. And night after night, it may help you hold on to the names, the faces, and the moments that make your life your own. That is what I most want for you, to keep feeling like yourself, sharp and present and here. If this was helpful to you, and you would like more simple, honest explanations of how your brain and your sleep truly work, please subscribe and join us here. This channel exists to help you stay clear, calm, and sharp well past 60 and 70, and I would be honored to be a small part of that. Sleep well tonight, take good care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. And one last important note. This video is for general educational purposes only, and it is not medical advice. Always speak with your own qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your sleep, your routine, or your care. And see your doctor if you have memory concerns that are getting worse. Your doctor knows your body and your history, so bring this idea to them and let them help you use it well.